we all seek, or most of us seek, to be healthy, happy, and not decline and not age. Why is it that almost nobody, in fact, almost nobody we know, doesn't go through those phases of decline?
Well, you come understanding that you are not going to remain here, and there is a maturation, evolution process that you accept in all things. And is that what you're arguing about? In other words, we would like to submit that you can move through time, which is what aging is, without declining, which is what resistance is.
So how do we do that? Because nobody really seems to be doing that. Are we on the verge of achieving that?
It would help if you would stop offering that flawed premise that nobody's doing it. In other words, because you won't have access to it. As long as your premise is nobody's doing it, they could be all around you and you wouldn't see them. You see?
Sure.
So what is ultimate thriving from your point of view? What would you be looking for?
Well, on a physical level, being exuberant, being able to run 100 miles every day, being not declining in terms of physical agility.
Well, a lot of you were running 100 miles a few centuries ago, but you worked through that. You expanded way past that. In other words, you really want to run 100 miles a day?
I do. But not having, for example, stiffness in the joints. So who I think about is Jane Roberts, for example. She knew about the vibrational escrow. She knew why she was where she was. Why couldn't she change? Why couldn't she move?
But you see how that contradicts what you said earlier, and we're really enjoying this conversation when you said, as an individual, it's very easy to do that.
Yes.
You said, as a collective consciousness, it's harder to move relative to the economy. But then you said,
yes,
as an individual, it's very easy to do that. And we say, it seems logical that it would be easier for one to do it than for billions to do it. But it is the one and 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 the one doing it. And so, through the clarity of your example, when you are determined to thrive, which means it starts with the basis of being determined to feel good, which starts with the basis of understanding that there is this vibrational relationship. When you consciously, and you could begin at any time of your life, it's wonderful that when the little ones get here, they already know that. That's why their vitality and their expansion is so robust. And the longer you live here, the more most of you find things to fuss and worry about, and so you just layer yourself with these levels of things that you worry about until there's more and more resistance that you pick up. And so it's an interesting thing. This declining process that you're talking about is that life causes you to ask for more, but in the observation of where you are, you don't take the gain. And then because you didn't take the gain, now the absence of it is more acute, which causes you to ask for more. But if you don't move in the direction of it, then the absence of this expansion is more acute. And so what causes the decline is life keeps causing you to expand, but you don't use your mind to take the vibrational expansion. And so the expansion is what is causing the decline. Woo! The expansion is what is well, let's word it more accurately and more fairly. Without the expansion, there could not be decline, because without the expansion, there could not be resistance to the expansion. So it is resistance to the expansion that is causing the tension that you are equating as decline. So if you can find a way to ask and stay up with it, and ask and stay up with it, and ask and stay up with it, then you could live long in this physical body. If this time-space reality is inspiring the asking, and you're wise enough to take the vibrational journey into the vortex, then the best analogy is the airplane high in the sky, 500 or 600 miles an hour. You look out the window and it all looks fine. Put that same aircraft on the ground at that speed, and it would be a white knuckle experience, because there's resistance on the ground at that speed that you don't notice when you are flying high. And it's the same sort of thing. It is that you don't want to stop moving fast, but you don't want to move fast here and you summon us through her and she's not in the vicinity of that which we are, oh, you'll hear her fine. But her physical body does not feel good in the process of it. In other words, her body takes a beating if she's not up to speed. And your body only takes so what causes the beating on the body? It's not moving through time. What causes the beating on the body is expansion not allowed, expansion not allowed, expansion not allowed, expansion not allowed. Now you live in a universe that is going to insist on expansion. You can't stop that. So you only have one choice, and that is to keep up with who you are. You're like a two-headed monster. We just want both heads to get going in the same direction, you see. So when you say, I want it, but, or I want to thrive, but the economy isn't going well, or I want to thrive, but the economy isn't going well, and I don't think that one person can make a difference, you can't take back your desire for your own abundance, and you can't take back your desire for your abundance of your world. You've got to find a way of lining up with it. And it might mean ignoring or defying the reality that seems to exist and getting into that vibrational reality. You might have to be temporarily untruthful. You might need to be optimistic without justification for your optimism. You just have to care more about your alignment than you do about anyone's lie detector test, you see. When you are in alignment with who you are, you'll pass that test. In other words, when you're in alignment, the resources that create worlds are abundant and evident to you. And then others get to see you in your thriving. And many of them are so far outside the vortex that your thriving will just annoy them. And they'll say things like, he's got too big a piece of this pie. We just need to tax him more. So they will. They'll tax you more because you're thriving. And they'll give those taxes to others who aren't thriving. But you know what you'll do? Because it's what you always do. You'll just ask for more and it'll come again. And then they'll say, you could take all of the money that exists, equally disperse it around this planet, and in 10 years it will be right back where it is. Because it gravitates to the vibrational countenance. There's no way that you can divvy it out in terms of action. This is a vibrationally based universe. And when you know it and you begin to flow with the vibration, all is well. And we want to say to you, you have a new leader who knows this.
Thank you so much.